What's up everybody, welcome back to another KJ Lifestyle video. Hope you guys are having a great day. This is the day that we are finally installing the JB4 tune on my Kia Stinger GT2. I've been waiting for this video for a long time. I didn't know when I was gonna do it, but I decided to finally do it. I don't have the HKS plugs right now, so I'm just kind of installing it to run map 1 and also see all of the analytics from the JB4 app. But without further ado, let's get started on the install. Before we get into this video, I just wanted to say, please remember to hit the subscribe button. I've noticed in my analytics that I think like 92% of you are not subscribed. So we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. I think we have like 300 left. So do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, send it to a friend, and let's get to 1,000 before you know it. All right, so this is pretty much everything that you're gonna need to install the JB4. This you don't necessarily need. This is conduit, which I'm gonna put around the wires just for some extra heat protection. You don't need that. I'm just deciding to do that as an extra safety precaution. You obviously are gonna need your JB4 from Burger Tuning. I will link that in the description below. And you're also gonna need some industrial Velcro, which you are going to use to attach the JB4 and the wireless adapter right here on the little battery cover. So this is what it looks like when you first get it. You get a little like thank you and also a disclaimer. Then inside the box, you're gonna see you have your JB4, the wireless connector. We're gonna need this in just a second. This is the OBD2 adapter that you're gonna plug in from the inside, run through the firewall, and then it also comes with 2 posi taps. And this is also an extra. This is something that I decided to go with. These are the PMP fuel wire adapters, so you don't have to pierce into the factory O2 sensors. This is just kind of a bridge. So if you do take it in for service, they can't see that you have a little pinhole in your O2 sensor. So we have these, comes with some stickers, and this is the tune right here. The first step of the process is going to be installing the wireless connector to the actual JB4. So you're going to take a 2.5 Allen key and just undo these 4 screws right here. Alright, so now that we have the back of the JB4 open and exposed, all you're going to do is plug in the little JB4 wireless connector right here. You really can't mess this up, so we're going to take this little black part off right here, put the wire in there, and then plug it in. Going to use a Phillips screwdriver and make sure that is nice and secure. Alright, so now that we have the wireless adapter installed, all we have to do is set this back down, make sure it's sitting down nice and flush and it's not getting snagged on anything. Also make sure that little wire in there is tucked in that little groove, and then all you have to do is put the plate back on it and screw it back down. Next step of the process is going to be installing the OBD2 wire. This, we're going to have to pop off this cap right here. There's 3 clips, one here, and one in the back, and that's going to give us access down to where the firewall is. Then we're going to go inside the car, poke through either a coat hanger or a screwdriver, something that can get through that little rubber grommet, and then we're going to feed this wire up through and feed it all along the back here. Alright, so now we're inside the car, and this is what we're going to be feeding it through right here. You're going to fold this piece back, and then you're going to push through, whether you're using a coat hanger or a screwdriver, push this back and feed it through. So as you can see, we have the wire right here. That was honestly the hardest part. I'm going to try to show you guys a screwdriver that I used to just kind of pry it through. Alright, so here you can kind of see the screwdriver that I use. He's wiggling it right now, and that little rubber grommet is what's holding that back. So all you really have to do is feed that through, and then you can push that wire through. So now that we have the wire for the OBD2 fed through, all we're going to do is kind of tuck it behind this little grommet piece right here and run it over to where the JB4 is going to sit, and then we can start attaching the JB4. So the next step, and a very important step, is to close the door with the hood open. You're going to lock it, and then you're gonna go 15 feet away, put the key down, and wait for about 10-15 minutes. This is gonna allow the ECU to go to sleep. So once you start unplugging stuff, the ECU is not gonna freak out, and then once everything's installed and you turn it on, it's gonna run smoothly. All right, so while the ECU is going to bed, what we're gonna do is prep the tune. So what we're gonna have to do first is install the posi taps on the fuel wires right here. These are pretty simple to use. All you have to do is unscrew the red top first. Unscrew that, make sure you don't drop it down in the engine bay. Put the red cap over, wiggle the wire down in there, and then just screw it in. Nice and tight. All right, so now we're gonna get this all set up and kind of figure out where I wanna put all these wires. I know a lot of guys put this right here with the little adapter kind of angled this way, but I think what I honestly might do is run all these wires through this little piece right here. We just got everything all nice and laid out how we want it. As you can see, there is a rainbow adapter right here that's gonna go up front. Then we are gonna run this up underneath the strut. As you can see, the intakes right here and the catch can. We're gonna run it around the catch can. We're gonna tuck it up right here and go in at this little point right here. I don't know if you can see, it's already cut. So we're gonna go in through here. I'm gonna put conduit up along here and up along here and kind of run it behind the catch can. And we're also gonna zip tie it to the catch can frame right there. Then we have the box right here. This is gonna get Velcroed down, and then obviously the OBD2 adapter right there is just gonna plug in and run behind there. Then we also have two more wires for the O2 sensors. We have a small one, which is right here, which is gonna sit, it's gonna pretty much go right about here. And then the long one, which we're gonna end up putting up here, running around. Now this one is gonna be put right here. I don't know if you can see this guy right there. All we have to do now is wait a little bit longer, so we're gonna get the conduit prepped and Velcro down the tune. All right, so now what we're gonna do is take the PNP fuel wire adapter right here. This is just that little bridge, and we're gonna use the posi tap and tap into the only red wire, so you can't really mess this up. All you have to do now is unscrew this gray cap right here. Be careful, don't drop it. And you can see there's a little slit. All you're gonna do is put that through the red wire, just like this. Now you see that little point on the inside of here. Just gonna plug this in and screw. Just double check, nice and tight on both sides, not going anywhere. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to unplug the O2 sensor, which is this guy right here. What we're gonna do is unplug this, plug in the fuel wire, just like this. Get it in there nice and tight. And then plug in right here what was plugged in right here. As you can see, this right here goes onto that little piece right there. Hear that little click? Now she's in. All right, so now for this side, we just actually took this piece off because I had it over this. I think what I want to do is just feed it underneath. This is actually the TCU, the transmission control unit. I'm going to go underneath the TCU wire and the harness, just so I can go right here and tuck this wire all the way in the back. So we're going to repeat what we just did and plug everything back in. What we did is we just ran the wire underneath this little rubber grommet that the hood closes on. Also, we have the OBD2 wire right here. I'm just gonna tuck it all along here, and that's gonna take us back to the actual box right there. Now that we have our wires ran all the way back, I'm gonna pull this little piece out right here. All I have to do is pull this one and pull that one. It comes out just like this. Now we can run our other wires right through here, and it's not gonna be pinched by the hood. Now that we have the box and the connector secured, all the wires taken care of, now comes the easy part. Unplugging this one right here, make sure you have the rainbow in the front of the car. Pull this back and slide that out. Slide in the orange one here, just like that. And then all you have to do is connect these, I think, yeah, it's on this side right here, with just like that. And this side is taken care of. All right, so now for the back, you have the brown wires. You're gonna do this one right here. There we go. This one in right here. And then we have this wire. Just gonna plug this in just like this. And there you go. All right guys, so now we pretty much have the final product. We have everything plugged in here. We're just gonna go everything and make sure it's plugged in. We have the conduit actually tucked up underneath the strut bar, and with these AFE intakes, you can actually tuck it right in between the intake box and the strut bar so you can't even see it. Then we got it coming out right here. This is just gonna sit below the catch can, and we actually ran this underneath the hose to the intake manifold, so it kind of tucks itself back there, and we plugged it in. Make sure it's all good and plugged in. That's good right there. Then obviously we have our fuel wire adapters right here. These are plugged in. That's good. These are tight. Then these, eventually we are going to zip tie these. The zip ties are in the car and I haven't unlocked it or started it yet, so we'll do that in a little bit once we put the cover back on. Coming to the other side, you can see we have our wire right here from the other fuel wire adapter. Let's just double check that. Pushed in tight. Good. Yeah, we got this right here. Just gonna tuck that in underneath, and then other than that, we're pretty much done. The only thing left to do is download the JB4 app, which, as you can see right here, if you go to the App Store, type in JB4, it's this red logo with the white writing that just says JB4. Click on that, download it. The other thing about that too is that it is $28 after you spend all this money on the tune. You have to spend another $28 on the app, but once you download that, you're gonna go in, create an account, and then you're going to be able to turn the car on and link it to the JB4. All right, so right now I connected to the JB4 and I'm doing the newest firmware update. There's 3 options. It'll be stable, beta, and then alpha. I just went with the stable just because that's stuff that's already proven to work. I don't want to test anything new. As you can see, it's writing right now 100 out of 411. You also have to make sure that this is pretty close to the actual JB4 unit. So once we stop filming this video, I'm just going to put this up on the dashboard and let it finish. An important thing to remember when you're doing the firmware update, the car does not need to be on. All the accessory lights need to be on though, so turn the engine off and then push the on button twice without your foot being on the brake, so it turns on all like the battery stuff. And actually, I think that, yeah, we just updated, so now we're on the newest firmware update, and we're gonna turn the car back on, and hopefully we'll be able to see all of our gauges. So here it is, guys. This is the finished product. Everything is tucked nicely. You honestly can't even tell that anything's really done to it, especially hiding this underneath the strut bar right here. You can kind of see it in front of the catch can right here, but the conduit honestly just makes it look factory. Then we obviously have the wire that's being run up through here, and then we have the unit right there. So now we're gonna take this thing for a spin, start in map 0, and then we're only gonna go to map 1 today because I do not have the HKS plugs in and I don't wanna risk a spark plug burnout. As you can see, we have all the gauges right here, the temperatures. Right now I have boost, ignition 1, the AFR, intake temp, trans temp, and then we have map. So as you can see, I'm in map 0. Just a little pull. This is still map 0, so stock. Obviously feels the same. How unfortunate is this? We literally just came out of the store and it's now raining. So I don't even think I want to go map 1. I know it's not that much of a difference, but in terms of the feel, I want to be able to like actually feel if there is a difference. All right, so it's pretty dry right here. I'm actually going to go into map 1. Good. All right, we're in map 1, and I'm gonna go into manual. I short shifted a little bit, but that actually did feel like a little. Like it hit a little bit harder than it normally does.
I do feel,
okay.
I do
yeah,
feel
that felt like it was pretty good. I'm still not like full throttle. I'm kind of feathering it a little bit and short shifting, but just because I don't want to spin if these roads are a little bit wet. But yeah, it pulls pretty good. Okay, all right, well, there's map 1. All right, okay, all right, I can't wait to feel what map 3 feels like. That actually is a decent difference. Alright guys, that is gonna do it for this JB4 install. I hope you guys found that helpful. Here again, here's a little setup. I know it's kind of dark, but as you can see, we got the wires tucked behind here. JB4 is in the back and everything. You honestly can't really even tell that there's a lot of wires here. They're all kind of tucked back, which I am actually very happy with, because then you can't see all the wires like I was saying before. But we were able to run map 1 despite the rain, and we actually did feel a little bit of a difference coming from stock. I'm very excited to put the plugs in, run map 2, and especially map 3 on E30 that I've heard so much about. Until then, that is going to do it for this video. Remember to be kind, be happy, and be grateful. And I'll see you in the next one.